Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 most sold sneakers in 2023. I was quite surprised by a few of them. I thought I had an idea of what was definitely going to be the most sold, but some of them actually did shock me. My source is coming from StockX, which is one of the biggest resellers in the market. Some people, you know, are a bit on the fence about them or not on the fence, but in my opinion, I've always had good experiences with them. I am going to group them into silhouettes because some sneakers are very similar / identical. But yeah, let's go. Please do let me know in the comments below because some of them I was quite surprised and I want to see if you guys are surprised too. We're going to start off with number 10. This is probably one of the most surprising one. This had 31,000 pairs this year sold. Yeah, it's the Crocs classic clog Lightning McQueen. I just really was not expecting to see this on my top 10. It actually did retail back in 2021 for $50, $60, and now they are coming in at about $120, so nearly double the price. Obviously people are absolutely loving them. This Croc was an actual official collaboration with Disney. I understand collaborations are usually more lucrative, so maybe that is the reason why they are so popular. The Croc is basically representing the movie's lead character, which is a Corvette C1. I absolutely love children's movies, but this Croc is definitely giving off a children's kind of vibe, but you know, each to their own. Next, coming in at 34,000, we have the Jordan 11 Gratitude, which released earlier this month, which was a really popular release and retailed at $230. Currently, this is selling for just under retail. This came out in the iconic patent leather. Not surprised at all that this made the top 10. For me, it is a stunning shoe. Personally, Jordan 11s are not one of my favorite silhouettes, but I can see the beauty of it. Coming in at 39,000 pairs sold this year, we have the Jordan 1 Spiderverse collaboration. This I absolutely get because it's kind of a limited edition. It actually came out with the Spider-Man movie that was released this year. I was really close to picking these up, but for some reason I didn't. This is a kind of pair that I like to look at, but I definitely probably would never end up wearing. It is also known as the next chapter. The Jordan 1 Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the next iteration of the original Air Jordan 1 Chicago colorway. As I literally just mentioned, the Chicago colorway is always a hit. The limited edition sneakers are constructed using various leathers, suedes, and other premium materials across the upper. The patterns used across the sneakers are designed to mimic the Miles Spider-Man animation style. The Spider-Man movie is a huge success. I think that people that aren't into sneakers but are hugely into Spider-Man would definitely want to pick a pair of this up. So again, I can kind of understand. These did retail at $200, and currently I've seen lots and lots of sales that were actually $200. So in my opinion, that's an absolute bargain if you can pick them up for less than retail. Next, we have one of my absolute favorites, which is the Jordan 4 and the Thunder colorway. These sold nearly 40,000 pairs of these that were sold this year. A Jordan 4 for me is one of my favorite silhouettes, and the black and the yellow together is just absolutely chef's kiss. This was a colorway that they actually brought back, and it was part of their summer 2023 campaign, so I feel like it was always going to be popular. These did retail at $210, and they are definitely selling way over that. So I mean, I think that's very common for a Jordan 4, especially in a popular colorway. Obviously the yellow in there is quite a bold kind of statement color, but most of the shoe is actually black, so I do feel like you can get away with wearing it with pretty much anything. Coming in at just over 41,000 pairs sold this year, we have the Adidas Samba OG and the colorway Cloud White and Core Black. These retailed at $100, £90, but they actually are selling way less than that, so I cannot fault that at all. I think the Gazelles, which I actually just did a video on, the Campuses, the Superstars, and obviously this silhouette here are doing so well this year. They've kind of, the hype has come back in for them. And these were actually originally designed to protect soccer players' feet during the winter. I do find that they all are very similar as well, that I think they're all kind of very simple, but they kind of do look very clean, and I think, you know, the white and black colorway is just a colorway that you really can't go wrong with. Next, we have the Jordan 3 Retro White Cement Reimagined at 42,000 pairs. Nike Jordan bought this back as part of the Reimagined series. They made it the same spec and design as the 1988 pair, which people went absolutely crazy for. I can't lie to you, the design and materials on this are absolutely stunning. It has the white leather on the upper and also has some off-white features on the midsole and also some of the tabs as well, giving off that kind of vintage look. I'm usually not the biggest fan of the Jordan 3 silhouette, however I do make some exceptions for some particular colorways, and this I think is definitely one of those colorways. It's a very clean look. These did retail at $210 and they are going for just a little bit over, which I don't think is bad considering the kind of hype and popularity of them. Just above that at $42,000 we have the Adidas Campus 2000s in the colorway Core Black. Now this shoe gets me so excited. These released earlier in the beginning of this year in February. This is, I would go as far as saying this is probably one of my favorite silhouettes of this year, which is a bold statement. I think I absolutely love this silhouette. I'm so in love. And do you know what? They do so many different colorways and I love nearly almost every single colorway. These retail at $110, £100, and they're actually selling for less than retail. I think that is probably a reason why they're so popular. I've done a video on these recently. I picked up the green and white pair and I've also picked up a gray and white pair since as well. I think they make an absolutely beautiful everyday shoe. They're very versatile. Personally for me, I'm a huge fan of the chunkiness. They have a lot of padded features on them. So they have the padded tongue and they also have a padded collar as well. Chunky shoes have been really in at the moment. So these just fit the criteria. And the best thing about these for me is definitely those really chunky laces. Now we are approaching the top three. I think I could have guessed what the top three were going to be before looking at these. I think they are quite obvious what they might be, but you might think differently to me. So coming in at 120,000 pairs, I've grouped them together, but they are two separate colorways, which are basically the same. We have the Adidas Yeezy Slide. We have the Onyx colorway. That was the 2022-23 release. And we also have the Slate Gray colorway as well, which is more of a recent release. Now, when these first came out, they retailed at $60, I think about £50. I think maybe about 2 years ago, I bought my best friend a pair and they were over £120. I bought them for resale because I couldn't get them for retail. They were reselling way over £100. They have come down so much in the last year. You can practically buy them for maybe like £20 over retail, which I think is absolutely amazing. This is one of, I want to say shoe, but it is a slide obviously. This is one of those shoes slides that I could not recommend enough. I feel like if you were going to, if you had £100 to spend and you were going to buy some kind of shoe slide, then this would definitely be the one. I wear mine, no lie, every single day without fail when I obviously leave the house. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is, I wear it all the time. Usually I wear them with socks. I think they are such a good investment. I would definitely, if they were reselling for double the price, I would still buy them, but the fact they're not, I can understand that, and I definitely think, you know, it explains why it is one of the most popular bought shoes this year. I have tried a lot of different slides over the past kind of couple of years, and I still don't think there is anything that quite matches the comfortability of the Yeezy Slide. The EVA foam is just, it's just so unique. Coming in at number 2 with over 70,000 pairs, we have the classic Nike Air Force One white low. These days, Nike Air Force Ones are so expensive. They come in about £110 here in the UK. So I think a lot of people are going onto reseller websites because you can basically pick them up for so much less. Now, this might, you know, question the fact of whether they are authentic or not. I feel like, why are you selling your Nike Air Force Ones? People might have just bought them and they can't return to the shop and they just want some money. I don't know what the reason is. Or alternatively, a lot of people have held onto them for kind of investment reasons. They foresaw this happening, so they are actually making money off them. The Nike Air Force One has to be one of the most popular silhouettes that I think has ever released, and especially obviously from Nike. Do you know what, for me though, I just refuse to buy them. I refuse to spend £110 on a pair of Nike Air Force Ones. So for the number 1 spot, we have over 212,000 pairs sold alone this year. And do you know what's funny? If we add the women's pair as well and the grade school pair, we're talking about over 400,000 pairs of this shoe sold this year, which is way above any of the other sneakers that I've mentioned in this video. So we do have the sneaker that you see absolutely everywhere, not just sneakerheads, just normal people that probably aren't even into sneakers. We have the Nike Dunk Low in the panda colorway. This shoe has been relentless. People are not stopping with this sneaker. They cannot get enough of it. I I literally remember when they first came out. I won a limited edition raffle when they first came out. I think this was back in 2021. Let me just check. Yeah, 2021 they came out, okay? We're now in 2023 and they're still the most resold sneaker. Absolutely mental. But I can't lie to you, I can see why they are so popular. The silhouette, the Nike Dunk Low silhouette, you know, is one of my most favorite silhouettes. There's so many different colorways and versions and iterations of the Nike Dunk Low as well. The Nike Dunk Low heavily feature in the top kind of, I want to say top 50. There's loads of different colorways in there. So, you know, the black and white colorway is a classic. And I think, you know, that is a sneaker that is actually going to go down in history. Now this Nike Dunk Low is basically a general release shoe. It just sits on the Nike website. You can go on there right now and pick them up. So I'm not entirely sure why they are sitting on StockX. I had a look at pricing and you can basically pick them up for the same price as retail, which is $115, and here in the UK it's £90. However, obviously I can't speak for the whole of the UK and the whole of America and other countries, etc. They may not be as easily accessible over there in different countries. Hopefully this time next year we are not going to be seeing the Nike Dunk Panda again take the #1 spot. Overall, there's been some really good sneaker drops in 2023, so I was quite surprised to see some other silhouettes and colorways making this top 10 most resold sneakers. Most of them do kind of fall into the same category. They've either been released and they're not releasing anymore, so it kind of forces you to buy off the reseller website, or prices have dramatically changed and you can pick up a pair of sneakers that are less than retail from a reseller website. That does just make sense. Let me know what you guys think about this top 10. Were you surprised to see any, or are you surprised to see that some were not there? Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with all my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.